All right, ladies and gentlemen. First and foremost, I want to say welcome back to our favorite hour of the week, episode 75. We are at three quarters now of the Fat Cats podcast. Today is Wednesday, 11/6, Wednesday, November 6th. It's currently 12:09 p.m. for timestamp guy. And want to say one big shout out, college basketball, NCAA college basketball is back. As anybody saw on Tuesday, I think that was the official start, right, Cam? Official tip-off?
Correct.
Kentucky Wildcats got a big win. NC State Wolfpack got a big win. If anybody's been to the beach lately, I don't know if anybody saw a wave, but there is a red wave that came over the United States. Donald Trump is back in office. North Carolina has voted red 3 elections in a row now. Cam has a lot of family in both Kentucky and West Virginia. They both voted red as well. And Georgia, all of our Georgia listeners, congratulations voting red. I know we're not a political podcast, but yeah, big news. 45/47 is back in office officially starting in January. And then probably the most exciting thing of this podcast, Cam, is it's Fat Cats Bowl week, baby.
Yeah.
Everybody knows what Fat Cats Bowl is. It has not happened since 2021?
2020, COVID.
2020. So me and Cam are 1-1 right now in Fat Cats Bowl. Fat Cats Bowl, long story short, when the Washington Commanders play the Pittsburgh Steelers, it's considered the Fat Cats Bowl. And when the NC State Wolfpack play the Kentucky Wildcats, it's Fat Cats Bowl. And Kentucky Wildcats put a hurting on my Wolfpack last time we had the Fat Cats Bowl. And then the Washington Commanders put a hurting on the Pittsburgh Steelers last time we had a Fat Cats Bowl. So, Cam, long-winded. So good to see you as always, my brother. Let me know how you doing.
Yeah, man, excited to get into it. I do want to talk on the politics thing real quick. This is a PSA to everybody out there. Don't let this ruin friendships.
No.
Don't let this get you fired from your job. At the end of the day, the sun came up this morning. We're going to go back to our lives. Don't let this ruin relationships.
Yeah.
I will say, though, funny looking at the Electoral College. SEC, man, went straight red. It just
is Virginia even in the South, Cam? I mean, do you there's always speculations about, does the South start at Virginia or does it start at North Carolina and go down? I know the school version of the South, but what do you, in your own words, consider the South of the United States?
I think North Carolina down.
Yeah. For any of our Raleigh listeners, anybody knows anything about Lake Gaston, Virginia? Once you go above Lake Gaston, you're not in the South anymore. That's when you're considered moving into the North. West Virginia is the South, absolutely. But Virginia, they're off in their own realm.
I don't even consider West Virginia the South, man. West Virginia is its own little thing. It's like, it's just Appalachia, man. That's all I
Yeah, it is. But no, yeah, I think the whole South voted red except for Virginia. But the Virginia is a predominantly very blue state. They're neck and neck, dude. It was extremely close. I was actually in Virginia this weekend, and you'd be surprised. There was a lot of Trump signs out there, which I was kind of shocked about because I thought Virginia was mostly, on the left-hand side of things. But anyway, Cam, it's election season. It's a conversation piece, something for people to talk about.
Best thing to happen though, Ward. No more campaign ads. No more text.
Yes. Nobody texting me anymore, Cam. I know you're getting texts too. Nobody blowing me up saying, look, I know who I'm voting for. You ain't going to change my opinion, Bo. I know exactly who I'm going to vote for. So you keep texting, it ain't going to do nothing except piss me off.
There you go. That was our 5-minute segment. That was Fat Cats.
And Donald Trump has enough money. He don't need me to give him $50. That man has more money than he knows what to do with. I ain't donating. So no more text about that as well.
Ward was actually in Mar-a-Lago last night. Anyways, as we get into it, we'll get into the actual sports podcast. We're done with our politics. Start off every show, Ward, first favorite forgotten, full plate, empty stomach. A lot of NFL trade deadline just finished up yesterday. Like you said, the Fat Cats Bowl. We got some college football stuff. Maybe a little bit of college basketball sprinkled in. But I do want to remind everybody real quick. On Spotify, YouTube, and Apple Podcasts. Just type in the Fat Cats Podcast. That's KATZ. If you're here, you know that. Be a friend, tell a friend. If you're new, subscribe, like, leave a comment. Instagram and TikTok at FatCatsPod. Ward, first favorite forgotten episode number goes with the jersey number. Let us know. Go ahead and start us off, man.
All right, Cam, I need you to repeat that again if you don't mind. The whole segment you just did, because I have not heard you say it 75 times or anything. But anyway, Cam, just a jab at you. But hey, y'all know, if anybody can see my screen, I thought this picture was funny. You know, we are a UFC podcast. It was Joe Rogan. It's a picture of Joe Rogan interviewing Kamala Harris. I don't know. Funny story. But anyway, Cam, first favorite forgotten. First comes to mind, one of the best offensive linemen I have ever seen wear the burgundy, or I've ever seen wear the burgundy and gold. Brandon Sheriff was drafted 2013, fourth pick in the draft, fifth pick in the draft. No, I'm sorry, not 2013. I'm sorry, 2016. We gave up all of our picks for RG3. 2016 was his first, or maybe 2015. But anyway, came out of Iowa. He was one of the highest rated offensive linemen in the NFL during his time with Washington. He then signed with the Jacksonville Jaguars. And Cam, he just got hurt this past weekend, but as of today, he's the number 4 rated offensive lineman in the NFL right now due to all the statistical scenarios. Cam, you probably know better than me. But Brandon Sheriff, favorite 70 or first 75 and favorite 75 that comes to mind.
There you go. Yeah. One of the greatest Redskins, Commanders, Washington football team guys of your lifetime, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Two guys I got coming up, or two of the reasons I wore 75. The first one that came to mind was Howie Long, one of the best defensive linemen of all time, played for the Raiders. His sons both played in the NFL, Chris and the name of the other one escapes me. He played guard for the Bears. But Howie Long, I had those old figurines, Ward, of the guys standing on the football field. I had one of Howie Long. I think I ended up giving that to James Fry for one of his birthday presents, but Howie Long was the first guy that came to mind for me when I thought about 75.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. And you just started talking. I saw something there, my different train of thought. All right, Cam, let's go in. This isn't my favorite, or Brandon Sheriff's my favorite. It's just, this guy is probably one of the most known figures in football. Big 75 Vince Wilfork. He is listed on a roster at 330 pounds. Cam, Vince Wilfork, what's the chance actually, I want to hear what you have to say first. What's the chance Vince Wilfork weighs 330 or 340, whatever he's listed as?
I would go off to say that when he played, he was closer to 430 than 330.
Yeah, if anybody has ever seen Vince Wilfork before, Cam, I'll have to send you a picture of Vince Wilfork whenever you post this. But Vince Wilfork is a lot of man, ladies and gentlemen. I've seen him in person twice. I've been to Heinz Field 2 times, and both times they did play the Patriots. Vince Wilfork was playing for the Patriots at that point. Big guy. That's all I got to say. I would say he's closer to 400 than he is 330 that he's listed at. But yeah, Vince Wilfork, just cool figure, and can't leave him out, right?
Yeah, a lot of man.
Yeah, a lot of man.
My favorite number 75, greatest Steeler of all time, if you're asking me, it is Mean Joe Green. Oh, there we go. There's
Big Vince right there.
Big Vince.
You can see that gut right there. Big Vince is not no 330. That's all I got to
say. Mean Joe Green's my favorite number 75. Like I said, greatest Steeler of all time. My second ever Steelers jersey behind Hines Ward. He's the greatest. I mean, like I said, he's one of the greatest players of all time. He's the greatest Steeler of all time. And we talked about it 20 episodes ago, Ward, when I hit that weight threshold that I couldn't wear 55 anymore, I'd start thinking
to 75. Hey, y'all want to see, if you guys have ever heard of a man that goes by the name of Jordan Davis, national champion at Georgia, plays for the Philadelphia Eagles now. There's one man that wore 75 in Charlotte that put Jordan Davis on his ass, and he's my podcast co-host. So yeah, just what Cam, don't want to brag on you too much, but had to throw that out there.
75 for the Butler Bulldogs was a very pedestrian football player.
Yeah, but
favorite 75 of all time, without it.
Yeah, hey, mine too, Cam. My favorite of all time as well. And also, Vince Wilfork is actually listed at 325, not 330, which rests my case even more. But yeah, but well, Cam, let's jump forward, man. We had a very exciting week of football. We have a lot of very interesting matchups coming up. But first and foremost, got to start out, Cam. full plate, empty stomach, as everybody knows, full plate, somebody that had a really good week in sports. Empty stomach is somebody that had a really bad week in sports. So, Cam, let's go ahead and start it out, brother. Who is your full plate of the week this week?
Yeah, I got two full plates. Mark Pope and Kenny Brooks. Mark Pope, the head coach of the men's basketball team at Kentucky. Kenny Brooks, the head coach for the women's basketball team at Kentucky. Both got their first career wins as Kentucky Wildcats on Tuesday night. So start of a new era for both sports, and super excited of the trajectory of both these programs.
Hey, shout out to Mark Pope. I know he won a lot of games as a Wildcat. Now he's about to won a lot of games playing as a Wildcat. Now he's about to coach a lot of games and win as a Wildcat. So shout out to Pope.
Fun stat, Ward. He wore jersey number 41 when he played for the Kentucky Wildcats. Kentucky won his first game by 41 points.
That's awesome. So did Pope win did he get a ring when he was there or not?
Yeah, he was the team captain of the 96 national championship team with Rick Pitino as the head coach.
Nice. They won the SEC that year too?
They did.
That's awesome. So, Cam, I had a conversation yesterday. I did not know if you didn't know this. I didn't know this. So the ACC Big Ten Challenge, which has been one of the biggest college basketball challenges, like before conference play challenges, it's been my whole lifetime. They've been doing it for 25 years. It is now the ACC SEC Challenge. So, Cam, did you guys by chance get matched up with a Carolina or Duke in that?
So this started last year. Last year was the first season of the SEC. Kentucky got a home game against Miami, so I believe it's a home and home. So I think we're going to Miami this year, and then they'll reshuffle the deck next year.
We play Texas this year. I don't know if it's at home or at Texas. I can't remember. I know we played them last year. But
actually, no, we get Clemson this year at Clemson.
That's right. Y'all do play Clemson. I thought of Justin, and I was going to text you about that. I forgot. Hey, speaking of Justin, did want to throw this out there. Justin had some sly comments to say in the YouTube comment channel this week about my knowledge of what's that guy's name? Cam Deontay, old Steelers wide receiver. He went to Deontay Johnson. Yeah, and I did make a mistake. I said that whoever he got traded to got a big body, or the Ravens got a big body receiver, and Deontay Johnson is actually smaller than I thought. He's like 5'9". But hey, man, hey. Don't matter how short you are, man. If you can jump, you can still be a big body receiver. So, Justin, thanks for the comment. Thanks for fact checking me. But yeah, screw you too, by the way, making me look dumb. But anyway, Cam, jumping forward, my full plate this week, I'm actually giving it to the Washington Commanders offensive line. So we did play the New York Giants this week. The Giants, before this week, were on track to break the all-time NFL sack record in the season. They have the NFL sack leader in Dexter Lawrence lined up at the 1, and then at the nose guard, then at the 2 in techniques. If they run a 3-3-5, they have Kayvon Thibodeau as well as Brian Burns, which are two dogs. Not going to lie to you. And Cam, we did not just allow a sack. We didn't even allow a QB hit. So there's no better way than having a quarterback with a clean jersey outside of my quarterback who likes to run and doesn't like to slide. But no hits from the Giants defensive line. So shout out to the Washington Commanders offensive line on their performance in Week 9.
Heck yeah, man! That's a tall task to go against that front seven and not get a quarterback hit. One of my favorite guys in the league, man, he's a guy out of Texas. He's looked to be a tackle when you guys drafted him. Sam Cosmi. Awesome at guard.
Sam Cosmi's a dog, and he actually grew his hair out now too. He has long hair, kind of like he used to have, Cam. So y'all kind of look alike with the long hair. When he has his beard going, I know you don't have your long hair anymore, but Sam Cosmi, Cam Taylor, two studs in the trenches, man, kind of look alike a little bit.
Yeah, he's about 5 inches taller than me, and he's got a few more million in his bank account.
Yeah, I've been told that me and TJ Watt look a little bit alike too. But
I see it. Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
You look more like Will Compton than my empty stomach award is going to go to my Butler Bulldogs, man. We played the Battle of the Hill, the Independence Bowl rivalry.
Lost to Independence.
Yeah, lost to Independence. I'm good friends. I'm actually good friends with the now head coach at Independence, Coach McFadden. He's a great guy.
How old is he?
He's like 20.
Oh, wow.
29.
Wow.
Very young head coach. He's a quarterback coach at Butler for a year for me, and
Okay.
he tweeted out, I didn't know this. His senior class is 3-1 against the Butler Bulldogs. That's a shame. That's a damn shame. I went 3-1 against Independence in my high school career, and that's flipped. And rough start to the new regime for the Butler.
Did y'all
Bulldogs.
lose to Independence when you were there?
My freshman year, we lost.
Interesting. Yeah, Wake Forest sucks too, Cam. I think we've won 3 games, 4 games. Times have changed when Butler and Wake Forest suck. We need to throw it back to the was it the 2012 North Carolina State High School Football Championship and Carter Finley Stadium when Butler Bulldogs beat us by like 50 points. But anyway, Cam, on to a different subject. My next full plate, CJ Bailey, NC State freshman quarterback, 21 for 25, 315 yards, 3 touchdowns, and led us to a big win against the Stanford Cardinals. So CJ looked pretty good. And Cam, I'll have to send you the statistic, but he was ranked the number 2 quarterback out of his performance this week in the NCAA, which is pretty cool. If he continues to play like this, hope we pay him and we don't lose him to an SEC school, Cam. So yeah.
Yeah, he was awesome. That's been a big topic of discussion from Colby G. Will CJ Bailey be back with the Wolfpack next year? He's from South Dade High School. He's a Miami kid.
Yeah, he's a Miami guy.
Will he go back to the Hurricanes? So you got to open up the checkbook if you're a booster at NC State.
Yeah. Well, hey, they gave Grayson McCall $3 million or $2.5 million. He didn't do shit. They paid him $1 million for every touchdown he threw. But Cam, go ahead.
He paid him $500,000 for his retirement. My second empty stomach's going to the NBA award. The NBA suspended Joel Embiid for 3 games for pushing a reporter.
Saw that.
Guys, if we really want to punish Joel Embiid, make him play 3 games in a row.
No shit.
So that's my last empty stomach. Make Joel Embiid play basketball if you want to punish him.
Yep. And hey, Cam, yeah, very valid point. We'll get into this in a little bit. I don't want to spoil it, but my last empty stomach is going to be Jerry Jones. We'll get into it soon.
Cool. Ward, moving on to our top stories of the day. We've got a collective shout out. We thought this was too big to be part of Full Play Empty Stomach.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's Taron or Tayron, but Taron Dickens, backup quarterback, Western Carolina. He went out. He threw for 431 yards last week.
Yeah.
His debut as the starter for the Western Carolina Catamounts. So shout out to him.
And also beat the number 2 ranked team in the SoCon in Chattanooga at home. Huge win, Cam. Huge win. Taron, man, you talk about South Florida. He's another Miami guy. Okay. South Florida kid, quarterback, spinning the ball, running the ball. You know, he didn't expect to play. Cole Gonzalez, who is our star quarterback, got hurt very early on in the game. Teron came in, did his thing, brought the Catamounts to a big win. So, hey, huge shout out, big win on homecoming. You know, Cam, that's the first time we've won on homecoming in 5 years. We're 1-6 in our last 7.
That's nuts. I do have a stat to read real quick, Ward. So Western Carolina's quarterbacks, Cole Gonzalez and Dickens, passed for 620 yards and 431 yards, respectively. The previous FCS school to have 2 different passers with 400-plus yards in a game in the same season was the Western Carolina Catamounts in 2021 with Carlos.
You're kidding.
So, hey, man.
Does it say the quarterbacks in 21?
Yes, it was
Will Jones and who?
No, it was Carlos Davis and Rogan Wells in 21.
I remember Carlos Davis. He lived next to us, Cam. Remember that? He was always scared of Willow, my dog.
Great guy. He was very good.
Cool guy. He just did not. We had 2 dogs, and he didn't like our dogs. But they never cared about us partying or having loud music. So, good roommates.
They did their fair share of partying with us.
They did not like seeing us throw the eggs at the cars that drove by on 107 though. And
we were wild.
Any of our listeners that want to know about that, give me a call. I have videos I can show you. Me and Cam and Fry used to like to steal our roommate G's eggs and go on the back porch, and the cars would go by on 107, and we throw them at them and nail them. And I'd always hit the tires. But anyway, Cam, moving for anything you want to add on that, or are we good?
I will say that we had one incident during that almost ended mine and James Fry's friendship. I was throwing an egg, and on the wind up, it broke in the back of my wind up, and I looked back, dude, he had egg all over.
Oh, good.
That was the best man I've ever seen James from. He goes, you've ruined my PFG shirt, brand new PFG shirt. You ruined. I was like, all you have to do is throw it in the washing machine, bro.
Good times, man. Good times.
Ward, we move on to the trade deadline. Both of our teams made some pretty huge moves this deadline, so I'm going to go ahead and let you start with the Commanders and your thoughts on what is a great cornerback coming.
Yeah. So as of, I know me and Cam might argue about this, but I think this was probably the biggest trade on deadline day. If anybody saw, the Washington Commanders got Marshawn Lattimore and a fifth-round pick. No, Marshawn Lattimore and a fourth-round pick from the New Orleans Saints for a third-rounder and a fifth-rounder. So it kind of was a pick swap between fourth round, fifth round, and then we gave him a third round. But that we did have 2 third-round picks in this draft, and they get the worst of the 2 picks. So if, say, we have pick 2 in the third round and pick 15 in the third round, they get pick 15. And you got to think about it, man. Look back at Marshawn Lattimore's career, former rookie defensive player of the year, 4-time Pro Bowler, 2-time first team all NFL or first team all whatever. He's legit, man. I know he's had some injury issues. He has not played a full season since 2021, which is a little concerning. But for Adam Peters, our GM, for Dan Quinn, for Josh Harris, this team is what they've done in this team in a little over a year is absolutely outstanding. You know, we have one. There's 2 gaps in our team that we need to fix. That's the wide receiver position and the defensive back position. I believe we fixed the defensive back position. Cam, by the way, I know I was telling you that Marshawn Lattimore was going to lock down George Pickens on Sunday, but Marshawn is day-to-day right now. He is nursing a hamstring injury, so we'll see if he plays. But yeah, Cam, I'm very happy and very happy to see what impact that Marshawn Lattimore, number 23, brings to the Burgundy and Gold.
Yeah, man, I get it. You know, you see 14 across the field, you say, man, I don't want to get lit up on my debut. So I get it. I will say, in all seriousness, in the offseason, you guys traded Jahan Dotson to the Eagles for a third-round pick.
Yes.
That same third-round pick that you guys got from the Eagles was traded for Marshawn Lattimore.
Yep.
You guys traded Jahan Dotson for Marshawn Lattimore.
Pretty much.
That's a pretty
good trade.
Yeah. So, yeah, I like the move a lot for you guys. And Howie Roseman over in Philly just is the gift that keeps on giving, is what it feels like. We got Peyton Wilson for Kenny Pickett, and you guys got Marshawn Lattimore for Jahan Dotson.
Y'all got Peyton Wilson for Kenny Pickett, really?
With the pick that
I didn't know that. That's cool. Yeah. That's cool.
My Steelers made 2 pretty big moves. We got Mike Williams from the Jets. This has been a long time coming. I feel like once the Jets got Devontae Adams,
yeah,
made the most sense. He went on a visit during the offseason as a free agent, ended up going to New York. They make it happen for a 5th-round pick.
Yeah.
So cool with that 5th-round pick going out for another receiver.
Kudos to y'all, dude. Hey, nobody can talk trash to me about this one. Mike Williams is a big body receiver. Y'all got your big body receiver.
Yeah. And a guy opposite of Pickens, who's a 50-50 jump ball guy, where are teams going to shade now? Are you going to shade the Pickens side? Or are you going to shade to Williams side? Or are you going to run a cover 2 shell? And if that happens, if that cover 2 shell happens, watch this run game take off even more so than it has in the past few weeks.
So the question is behind that, Cam. Mike Williams has had a lot of injury problems the past 3-4 years.
Correct.
Do you think y'all are going to be able to keep him healthy?
I mean, to me, a 5th-round pick is worth the risk.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, you know, I mean, you can't keep a guy healthy. Like, there's no stages you can go through to say, hey, we're going to keep this guy healthy. But even if you get the guy that's been in New York this year, maybe a little bit better, that is a guy who, Russell Wilson, just throws up jump balls, 50-50 balls a lot. He is a 50-50 ball still. He's that guy. He's not going to get a lot of separation. Pickens doesn't get a lot of separation, but it's going to take the top off of defenses. And can stay on the football field, great. So we also made a move, 7th-round pick going to Green Bay for Preston Smith. We lost to Marvin Leal. Nick Herbig has been out for a couple of weeks with a hamstring injury. We lost Highsmith for a few weeks with a hamstring injury. So to shore up the depth of the edge spot and then also have a guy that when you're in your nickel and dime defense, you can put as a 3 technique opposite of Cam Hayward and get 4 legitimate pass rushers on the field. It's going to be awesome. I know Preston
Yep.
Smith isn't the Preston Smith of the COVID years. I know he's not the Washington football team Commanders, Redskins, Preston Smith, but he's still a damn good football player.
Yeah, damn right he is. And he brings good leadership to that defense. I know you guys don't need much defense or leadership in the defensive room, but
Yeah, but he's still a guy that, he's a pass rush guy. He's not going to be asked to play 50 snaps a game. He's going to be asked to play 20 snaps a game and go get the quarterback, and that's what
Yep. So cool. Well, Cam, I did want to say it's a few other big trade deadline news. Cam, gonna need your help with names. Browns defensive end was traded, or former Vikings defensive end was just signed with the Browns. Zadarius Smith was traded to the
Detroit Lions.
Detroit Lions. That's right. Was traded to the Detroit Lions. That was a big move, but obviously our team's made the 2 biggest moves. Am I missing any other big moves that we need to talk about?
He's not as good now, but big name Tre'Davious White to the
Tre'Davious White. That's right.
The Bengals traded for Khalil Herbert.
Yep.
And I think that's all the moves.
Yeah, there was one other one that I texted you. Nothing crazy though.
And then I don't think we covered Deontay Johnson going to the Ravens. I think we knew he was.
No, we didn't cover that. Yeah, Deontay Johnson. The Ravens get their big body receiver, Cam. Yeah. So
I will say, he's not a big body receiver, and a lot of people think that because how many people actually watch Deontay Johnson play football? I get it. Well, he's a true X receiver. He's one of the best separators in football. But you bring another wide receiver into that room who had drop problems.
Yeah.
So a guy who is well known to be a locker room cancer. So we'll see how it works out. The talent is there.
Cam, hey, one other thing I wanted to add. I didn't mention this about Marshawn Lattimore. As I mentioned, I will be in New Orleans for the Washington Commanders, New Orleans Saints on the second weekend of December. That's gonna be interesting seeing Marshawn Lattimore get back. So
that'll be fun.
But Chase Young too is playing against Washington, playing against us. So
okay, so we talked about the moves, Ward. We talked about what our teams look like with these new guys. I know that you said Marshawn Lattimore is day-to-day. Fat Cats Bowl.
The Fat Cats Bowl.
Washington Commanders opened as 2.5-point favorites. They are now 3-point favorites. What is your thoughts on this game going on in the Landover, Maryland?
Okay, so Cam, we're going to start out biggest game of the week by far. It is disrespectful that the NFL is not flexing this game. So the 4:25 game right now, obviously this is a 1:00 game in Landover, Maryland at Northwest Stadium. It's not called FedEx Field anymore. Northwest Stadium, Washington Commanders versus Pittsburgh Steelers. The 4:25 game as of right now are the Eagles Cowboys, and the 8:30 game as of right now is the Lions and the Texans, which is a good game, by the way. But I think we should take the 4:25 slot. Anyway, Cam, big game, dude. Very big game for both teams. The Steelers made a quarterback move about a little under a month ago. I think the Steelers are still really trying to figure out what their identity is as an offense. We're still trying to figure out what we are as a team. So this is a huge game for both teams. Y'all are 6-2. We're 7-2. Cam, first off, let's before we break down the game, man, what's your thoughts for the Steel? What implementations could this I don't know the word. What could this have on the rest of the Steelers season?
Yeah,
how big is a win in this week?
Yeah, it's huge. This is a huge game. You're coming off a bye week. You look at the rest of the schedule. You got the Ravens twice. You got the Browns twice. You've got the Bengals twice. So you've got all your division games back half of the season. You've got a game in Philly, and you've got a game in Kansas City on Christmas Day.
Jeez.
You almost have got to win this football game.
Yeah.
You look at the rest of the schedule, and you don't see many wins where you're like, that is 100% a win. And I'm not calling this game that either.
Yeah.
But when you look at the beginning of the season, you look at Falcons, that should be a win. You look at the Broncos, that should be a win. You look at the Raiders, that should be a win. There's no more of those games left.
No.
So obviously you have 2 weeks to prepare for this Jaden Daniels offense.
Number one offense in the league, by the way.
Yes, number one offense in the league. A team that under Mike Tomlin historically is bad against running quarterbacks not named Lamar Jackson.
Yep.
you have got to win this football game to set yourself up for the playoff push that is coming in November and December and into January.
Yep. So, Cam, I want to hear it. This is a segment we're going to do. It's going to be Big Cam's keys to the game. So, Cam, tell me how the Pittsburgh Steelers win this game.
The keys to the game for me, on offense, run the damn football. If the Steelers run for 200, 250 yards, I think they win this football game because you'll keep the ball out of the hands of the number one offense, the most electric rookie quarterback in the league, one of the best receivers in football. On defense, limiting Jaden Daniels' legs. Make him beat you from the pocket. He is a great passer. He's deadly accurate. But when you pair that with the legs, that's when it gets dangerous.
Yep.
Have discipline in your rush lanes. Do not get out of control. And have a guy that you're going to see a lot of zone because of his legs. They're not going to run a lot of man because they don't want their backs turned to him so he can get out. So make him make tough throws. And special teams, special plays, special players. You got to win the special teams. You have to win the third part of football. Danny Smith has been incredible this year. They had 6 blocks, I think, this season across punts, kicks, PATs. So win the special teams, run the damn football, and do not let Jaden Daniels beat you with his legs.
Love it, Cam. Love it. So, Ward's keys to the game. The way we win this football game, Cam. First and foremost, starting out, I know you said run the ball. As of right now, Brian Robinson is one we needed to play. He didn't play last week. He was rehabbing a hamstring injury, trying to get him ready for the Steelers. He's averaging 4.2 yards a carry on the season. We got to get him running in between the tackles. That sets up our whole offense. So, keys to the game: 1, starting out, run the football. Need to start out 2nd and 6, 2nd and 5. 2, let Jaden Daniels work his play action play. Cam, our big plays this year are when Terry McLaurin, De'Ami Brown run off a play action, get one-on-one coverage, let them do their thing. So we need to keep Mika Fitzpatrick away from 17 and let 17 do his work out of the slot and get open on play action plays. So that's one. That's the key to we win on offense. Key to winning on defense, Cam. Got to keep 3 in the pocket. We have been killed by quarterbacks this year getting out of the pocket and hurting us with their feet. Sack-wise, we're doing good. We've been able to get the quarterback in the dirt, but Russell Wilson historically is one of the best quarterbacks that we've seen in this league since he was drafted in 2012, and got to keep him in the pocket, got to get pressure on him. So that's one key on defense. Special teams. Huge special teams week for us. Right as of right now, we are ranked 28th in the NFL in red zone scoring. We get inside the 20, Cam, we can't put the damn ball in the end zone. Our kicker is the most kicked kicker, or the most PAT kicker inside the 25-yard line, Cam. So we need to get the ball in the end zone. And so that's my breakdown of the Fat Cats Bowl. Cam, score prediction. Let's hear it.
Let's go, I'm going to say 27-21 Steelers.
Okay. I'm going Washington Commanders, 28-21.
Okay.
Steelers get the ball back with a minute and a half left, and Russ does the same thing he did last year against the Washington Commanders. Okay. Lose the game. I hope that you're wrong, and I hope I'm right, and I'm sure it's vice versa. But Cam, it's going to be a good game. Looking, obviously I want to beat y'all because you like the Steelers, but looking big picture, huge week of football for us. We play y'all on Sunday, and then we play the Eagles in Philly on Thursday night. So Eagles are a big game. Steelers are a big game. Oh, I didn't even say this. Another key to us winning this game is keep 90 the hell away from my quarterback. Do whatever you got to do.
I was late to
Take his knee out. Something. Do it. Take his knee out in a clean way. Take 90 the hell away from my quarterback.
I get it, man. I was wait. I was going to wait. I wasn't going to say anything. I was waiting to see if it was a part of the game plan or not. But
yeah.
I'm glad you got that out there. Yeah, it's going to be a super fun week, man. I can't wait for this game. Big game for both teams. Like, this is going to show what our teams are made of.
Let us know who you think's going to win, Cam. Or not Cam, listeners. Me and Cam are going to put something on Instagram.
Hey, give us your keys to the game. Give us your score prediction.
What did we miss? Yeah. Cam, can we do a poll on our Instagram story day of Sunday morning? Could you do a poll for us, or I can create it and send it to you and say Fat Cats Bowl, who wins, Commanders or Steelers, and just have people vote.
Yeah, that'll be easy to do.
Cool.
We'll do that. Ward, real quick, Dennis Allen fired as the Saints head coach. Don't care. Doesn't really
Nah.
matter. I want to talk about this Jason Kelsey thing.
Yes.
So if anybody doesn't know, Jason Kelsey was at the Penn State-Ohio State game for game day. He goes out, he tailgates with all the fans. As he's walking to the stadium, he's got a big case of beer in his hand. He just looks like a regular old dude. Some guy comes up, I guess it's a kid. It looked like a college student. Comes up behind him and is saying slurs to him and calling him words we don't say on the podcast.
The F word.
Yeah, the F word, not the curse word, the other one.
Yeah.
Making fun of Travis for Travis for dating Taylor Swift, all this stuff. Jason Kelsey turns around, grabs his phone, slams it on the ground, picks it up, walks away with it. The guy keeps heckling him for his phone back. He spikes it again and walks away.
Yeah.
So, Ward, what were your thoughts on this whole thing? And I'll talk about my thoughts.
Yeah. So start first and foremost. I have a little brother. Jason Kelsey has a little brother. Cam, if you're at I don't know, let's say you go to the South Carolina Texas A&M game this weekend, and say Caroline, Caroline's well known on social media, and there's some frat kid behind you. You're walking, minding your own business, and there's a frat kid behind you saying, "Your sister's this, your sister's a that, your sister's a this." How would you react?
There'd be a lot more.
Exactly. That blood is thicker than water, brother. So I see, obviously, Jason Kelsey, I'm sure, I know he was drinking a beer at the time. I'm sure, alcohol was involved. But for that kid to say what he said about his brother and expect him not to retaliate, like I have some choice words for the guy that was talking to Jason Kelsey, but they're trying to make an example out of him because Jason Kelsey's this famous person. I'm sure they're going to take legal action against him, sue him, whatever. But dude, I mean, he's not a robot, brother. He's a human just like us, and you got to expect that there's a point where what you do is going to be there's going to be some retaliation back for it. So I'm fully on Jason Kelsey's side. No, the media is not. The media is heckling him. Jason Kelsey, I'm on your side, brother. I'd do the same thing as you, and good luck with everything.
Yeah, man, I'm with Kelsey here as well. Like I said, man, there'd be a lot more getting damaged than the daggone.
Yeah,
to me, you look at Jason Kelsey. Since he's retired, he's been a guy. He hangs out with the masses. He hangs out with the regular man. He was out there tailgating with regular.
Yeah.
Fans. And this kid comes up. It's almost like he's punishing him for hanging out with the regular guys. Like,
yep.
That will all people want is for athletes to act like normal human beings and hang out with them and talk to them like they're regular people. And he does that. And then this kid comes up and starts heckling him.
Yep.
I'm with Jason Kelsey. I think, long term, Jason Kelsey may have stopped that kid from doing it to somebody else.
Yeah.
Who may have.
And the thing that gets me, the kid at the end, Jason drops the kid's phone down or something. And then the kid runs into Jason and knocks him back a little bit. And then Jason got up in kind of a hostile way, like, brother, that's not a guy you want to mess with, dog.
No.
But Jason Kelsey, however many Pro Bowls he won, however many all-pro teams he was on, you got to think that man battled Dexter Lawrence, who's the best interior defensive lineman in the NFL, twice a year. He went every day in practice against Jordan Davis. He went every day in practice against Fletcher Cox. Yeah. You got to think this guy is battle proven, man. That's not a war. That's not a battle you're going to win.
No, and professional athletes were wired differently.
You don't understand. These guys, man, they train. They've trained every single day since they were 15 years old, lifting weights, running. These guys are in shape. They're a lot stronger than you think, So I don't know. I mean, yeah, they are wired different though, Cam.
Fat Cat stands with Jason Kelsey, man. That's
yes.
Moving on to our college football recap from last week. Ohio State Ward beat Penn State. This was a huge Big Ten to see who will go to the championships, presumably, if you look at the schedule, presumably play Indiana in the Big Ten championship or Oregon, pending. Ward, I mean, any thoughts on this game? But the real question I have is James Franklin ever going to win a big daggone football game?
Yeah, this is my immediate thoughts, Cam. Will Howard will not take this team to the promised land.
No.
Ohio State is the projected team to win the national championship, all this, all that. Tell me, Cam, a national championship team in the last 5-6 years that have not had a really good quarterback at the college football level.
The only one that's even close and I don't think this is true, but some people would argue this, is Stetson Bennett.
Stetson Bennett. Yeah, I mean, you could say that, but at the
You
end of the
can
day,
say
hey,
that. Ward,
Stetson Bennett was in New York, brother.
Yeah,
He
and
was in
you can
New
say
York for
that.
that Heisman presentation.
Yeah, I agree. I think he was
Like,
great.
he's not a good pro quarterback. This guy he's not. So 10 being best quarterback in college football. This isn't him. Cam Ward, I think, probably is the best quarterback right now in college football. Say he's a 10, worst quarterback in college football, Auburn's quarterback. Just throwing a random name out there. He's a 1. Will Howard's like a 6. Will Howard's like good. He's better than average, but he's not the guy that's going to lead you to the promised land, Cam. So and there's a 12-team football, or there's a 12-team format this year in the playoffs, so it's not like they're automatically going to get it put in the top 4. I don't know, man. I just don't think this guy, he's good, but I don't think he's good enough to bring this team to the horizons that everybody's expecting him to.
Yeah, and I agree. And on the Stetson Bennett point, like, even if you do say that about Stetson Bennett had 13 or 14 pros on that defense and probably
Yeah.
on that offense.
Yeah.
You get the Ohio State team and tell me how many pros. I mean, like, right now, pros are going to be on that team.
Yeah, valid point, dude. Valid point.
It's not 20. So, yeah. Your NC State Wolfpack beat Stanford.
Hey, and on the James Franklin part too, yeah, I think he's like 1-6 against Ohio State now.
Yeah, it's I like James Franklin. I think he's a good coach, but you got to win a big time football game.
Yeah.
Your Wolfpack beat Stanford. Any lasting thoughts on that game?
But we played good, dude. We opened up as 10-point favorites, scared the hell out of me. I think we ended up beating them by 30 points. So I think we're finding our groove, Cam. Like I said, I told you last week we recorded, I think this is the game where I think we really come out. We came out, and the reason we put up a great performance, we are now 3-point favorites to beat Duke Blue Devils this week at home, which is a big game for us. Duke beat our asses last year. They beat us 27-3, and I was at that game. So yeah, man, I'm just really, really happy about the Wolfpack, and let's jump to Kentucky.
Yeah, Kentucky travels to Neyland Stadium to play the Tennessee Volunteers. 7:30 night game. Tennessee in all black uniforms, Hell Weekend, all that good stuff. Kentucky surprised me how much they fought. I thought this was when you talk about a dead man walking, that's what I thought this team was. I thought it was a lot of guys who were either ready to go to the draft or enter the portal, and they fought their tails off against Tennessee. Yep. Respect to those guys on the football field. Respect to Mark Stoops, man. People didn't talk about this a lot. It wasn't a storyline going into the game. Mark Stoops lost his mother on Monday, and
I didn't know that.
And he coached a daggone football game on Saturday, a tough football game. So I've got all the respect in the world for this team and Mark Stoops. I
didn't know that. Yeah, hey, prayers up for the Stoops family. I had no idea.
Exactly. And I know I've had a lot of things to say about Stoops this year in terms of, like, does he want to be here, all that stuff. Dude, he fought his tail off. That team fought their tails off. And the game, I said on record, they're going to go get beat by 60 points. They were up going into the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
They lost the quarterback, and then it all fell apart. But
these
guys fought their tails off, and super proud of the guys. But like I said, man, this is a bad season. Your only hope now is, like, you got Murray this week. There might be.
So, hey, speaking of that, Cam, I did my research before. How much are the tickets to Kentucky Murray State on Saturday?
$10 to get in.
17.
There might be 1,000 people in that stadium.
Really? Everybody's ready for basketball season?
Basketball season started. Your only hope is, like, you go you wax Louisville at the end of the year. Whatever. But
speaking of Louisville, Cam, I don't know how much waxing's going to get done with Louisville, brother, because, hey, Justin, wink, wink, hint, hint. They march into Death Valley, the number 1 place to play in the ACC. And guess what they did, Cam? BTA, belts to ass. They took Dabo Swinney and they put the belt to that ass, man. So Justin Alford, man, I know you talk a lot of trash about my Wolfpack, but hey, what's the guy that goes, what happened? What happened, Cam?
I don't know. Clemson Tigers, what happened? Yeah, man, we were way off on this read. I thought this Louisville team stunk. Maybe this Clemson team isn't all it's made up to be. I was hearing.
I don't know. I still think Clemson's very good. I mean, you got to think, man. They've only lost 1 game in conference, and they've lost 1 game in conference to Louisville, who was in the ACC championship last year, and they also lost to Georgia, who might be the best team in college football. So there is an argument there. Clemson still probably will win the ACC and get into the playoff, but yeah.
Another game word that we had no read on was South Carolina. A&M travels to South Carolina.
Good God.
And you want to talk BTA, man.
Yeah.
That's BTA. South Carolina laid the wood on A&M. A&M lost their best back. This freshman quarterback that I talked up for what felt like 5 minutes looked like a freshman quarterback going against that front seven of South Carolina. South Carolina's got an incredible defense.
Dude, I'm telling you, man, I saw videos of that football stadium. My cousin went to South Carolina. She was at the game. One of my buddies, Elliot, from my hometown, is a huge Cock fan. He went to the game. That stadium at 8 o'clock on a Saturday night might be the loudest stadium in the SEC, arguably. I know, Columbia, South Carolina, it's not the biggest stadium. It's not the sexiest, fanciest stadium. But boy, those people get rowdy. That's all I got to say. So
it's one of the best stadiums. I've been to Tiger Stadium at LSU.
Have you?
Not for a huge night game, but I've been to a lot of stadiums. South Carolina is up there with the best. When that place gets rocking, Ward, you can feel the stadium moving.
That's crazy.
But yeah, South Carolina absolutely whooped up on A&M. Moving on to the NFL, we're going to run through this quick. We got about 5 minutes. So, Commanders beat the Giants. Ward, any thoughts on that game before we move on?
You're good. Hey, offense looked really good. We swept an in division, or we swept an NFC East team for the first time in like the past 6 years. We're 7-2 for the first time since 1996, which is extremely exciting. Jaden Daniels, I think he won Rookie of the Week again. He's won 7 out of 9 Rookie of the Weeks this year. So really excited, man. I told you how I felt about the offensive line. Really excited about that. Wanted to give a shout out Jeremy Chin. Cam, he obviously former Panther. He had 11 tackles this week and a fumble or tackle or 11 he had 11 tackles, 1 tackle for a loss from the safety position and 1 forced fumble. So shout out Jeremy Chin.
Good job. Panthers killed the
14's
Saints.
going to be having nightmares about him running over the middle this weekend, by the way.
Anyways, Panthers actually killed the Saints.
Dude, the Panthers won, man. Hey, I didn't see all the fans come out of the woodwork show like I did when they beat the Ravens. Not the Ravens, the Raiders.
Not quite yet. The rival of Bryce Young is fun to watch, though. Looked really good. So some young pieces stepping up against the Saints stink.
Yeah, dude, the Saints suck. But man, when they beat the Raiders, everybody on my Instagram all of a sudden turned into the Panthers fans, taking pictures with their jerseys on, stare at Instagram stories. I'm like, bro, get out of here, man. But yeah.
Lions beat the Packers. I'm gonna be honest, I kind of fell asleep during that game. So.
Lions are the best team in the NFL right now, Cam. The Lions are the best team in the NFL right now. Kansas City is undefeated. I get it. This Lions team is freaking legit, dude.
They're a very good football team.
We
got predictions for college football and NFL. We're just going to run through these real quick. Going against the spread, real quick, Ward. Georgia goes to Ole Miss. Georgia's 2.5-point favorites in the Grove.
Big game.
Ole Miss just hung 63 on Arkansas. I still think Georgia's the better football team. Kentucky Wildcats, who's played a very similar style to Georgia, went to the Grove and won a game this year. So give me the Georgia Bulldogs.
Yeah, Jackson Dart's going to be having nightmares about this Georgia defense. So give me the Dogs.
Indiana plays Michigan. Indiana's 14 points.
It's insane. And Indiana's also 8-0.
Yes.
For everybody wondering.
First 8-0 start, I think, since like the
1966.
Jesus. Give me Indiana winning, but I don't think they cover the 14.
Interesting. I don't know if it's at Michigan or not. Yeah, give me Indiana winning. I'll agree with you, Cam. They don't cover. But hey, I will say, Cam, jumping forward, Clemson, Virginia Tech. This was a big game for ACC play. I don't think Virginia Tech is very good. I think Clemson kind of gets back on the realm here. I think they put a hurting on Virginia Tech this weekend.
Yep, I think they bounce back. I think they cover the 6.5. So give me Clemson winning. Alabama, LSU. This is a huge game for playoff implications. Both teams 2 losses. Alabama travels to Baton Rouge, I believe.
Yep.
Alabama is 3-point favorites, though.
Yeah.
Give me LSU winning this football game out.
Yeah, dude. Baton Rouge is a hard place to play, especially because Alabama just went up to Vanderbilt and lost that game. Baton Rouge is – you talk about South Carolina being a hard place to play. Baton Rouge might be tough too, brother. So, yeah, give me Cam, I'm right with you. Give me LSU.
Duke. They're traveling to NC State, correct?
Yes, coming to Carter Finley.
State 3-point favorites. I think State wins this game.
Duke doesn't beat us 2 years in a row, brother. They don't beat us 2 years in a row.
I think State wins by 2 scores in this game at home.
I hope so.
Kentucky, Murray State. Yeah, Kentucky's playing Murray State. Anyways.
Hey, Cam, I do got to run. Let's run through these really quick. I got to run in 30 seconds.
Commander Steelers, 3-point favorites, Washington. Give me Steelers winning outright.
Give me Washington winning outright.
Okay. Bengals, Ravens. Ravens, 6-point favorites. Ravens cover.
I don't think so. I think the Bengals cover. Give me the Bengals winning, dude. Give me the Bengals winning this football game.
Giants, Panthers in Germany. Giants 6-point favorites. Give me the Panthers.
Yeah, what a boring freaking game, dude.
Listen,
hey,
give me the
Giants, man.
Yeah, give me the Panthers outright, and this could very well start World War III.
Yeah, dude. Give me the Panthers winning 2 in a row. The Christian McCaffrey jerseys and the Cam Newton jerseys are coming out of the woodwork. Scam.
Sunday night, Lions, Texans, Detroit, 4-point favorites. I think they win and cover.
Yeah, I think me too.
4 o'clock game, Eagles travel to Dallas. Philadelphia, 7-point favorites. Give me the Eagles winning. And I'm going to say a push. I think the 7 points.
Interesting. So Dak Prescott's not playing in this game. Cooper Rush has never lost a game, never lost his first game of the year as a starting quarterback. So I know this Eagles team is very good. I freaking hate the Cowboys. I think the Eagles win, but I do think I think it's like a 3-4 point game. I think the Cowboys cover here.
All right. We got to get out of here. That was episode 75. Hope everybody enjoyed it.
Peace. See you, Cam.
See you, Bob.